kick this off with the design and build. On the right hand side, you got these textured volume and your power button. Working your way to the bottom, you got what looks like two dual down-firing speakers, but it's only the far right one and the left one is the microphone. On the left-hand side, you got your SIM card and your micro SD card tray. And up on top, you got your headphone jack and your noise cancellation mic. Now let's take a look at the back there. On the back, you have a 13 megapixel autofocus camera with LED flash, and then you have your fingerprint sensor as well. This really nice diamond polished aluminum alloy design looks super nice, feels very nice at the hand. In the front, you get a 5.5-inch 1080p display, and you also get a 5 megapixel front-facing camera and a notification light up on the right-hand side. You get on-screen buttons there. I'm going to try to show you as much as I can in this review without keeping it too long. So pulling down the status bar there, you get your quick toggles there for Wi-Fi rotation, screenshot. If you hit the edit button there, you're going to get some more hidden options there. So you got this option here, which is basically like a floating toolbar, and you can actually move it around, and it's going to help with multitasking, so it's a real nice feature there. Going into settings here, you do have a variety of settings for the Huawei Sensa LTE. So you actually right there got a standard mode, and then you also have a simple mode, so it's just based on your preference right there. And then moving on to display, you have a real neat feature here which you can actually adjust the color temperature. So if you'd like to have it a little bit cooler, you can adjust it or have it a little bit warmer. Moving on to the fingerprint sensor here, you get a variety of options here. I'm really loving all the options you get in the Huawei Sensa LTE here with the fingerprint scanner. So there's just a variety, as you can see there, and you can actually assign certain fingerprints to open up certain applications. You can actually have a total of 5 fingerprints, as you can see there. And I'm going to go ahead and show you. So these are all the applications that just by using your fingerprint, you can open up a application there, and there's a variety to choose from, so you're not limited whatsoever there. Internal storage, you get 8.44 gigabytes out of the 16 gigabytes that is available. This is rocking EMUI 4.1 as well as Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to that fingerprint scanner. So you got some pretty neat features with this. So one of the features is if you swipe up on the fingerprint sensor, actually pops up your status bar for all your quick toggles, and then you just press the fingerprint sensor again and then it takes it away. So I think that's a really neat feature that you have there. Also, if you swipe down on the fingerprint sensor, it pops up all your recent applications. So this just makes it even easier for one-handed operation on this device here. Speaking of one-handed operation, if you swipe from right to left or left to right, it actually shrinks down your home screen there, which gives you a really good one-handed operation use now. So if you have small hands, this feature will be very useful to you just because it shrinks down your home screen, and now one-handed operation is super simple on this 5.5-inch display. All right, so it doesn't stop there. You got some more features with this device, which I really enjoy. Dual window on the Huawei Sensa LTE. Yes, you got dual window here, so you can have 2 applications running at the same time. As you can see there, I got my calendar open, and then I got my gallery open as well. So very nice. I mean, that's one thing I like about this device here is you got so many great features on this device. So, you know, this device looks good on the outside with the diamond polished aluminum alloy design, but it's not just good on the outside, it's good on the inside as well. Internally, this is a really feature-packed device here. So that dual window mode, excellent. I really enjoyed using that. All right, so let's move on to YouTube, because I know a lot of us use our devices to watch YouTube videos. 1080p display here, 1080p display. Again, I paid $99 for this device. It's on sale right now. Very nice 1080p display. Viewing angles are good. Audio quality does sound good from that down firing speaker. Just remember, they're not both down firing. Just the far right one's the down firing speaker, and then the left one is the microphone. But watching movies on this, YouTube videos, you're not going to have any issues whatsoever. All right, let's move on to the 13 megapixel rear facing camera. Now this device has some good features in the camera department as well. You got a lot of good options there for recording your videos, taking photos. You get time-lapse mode, slow motion mode as well. You can actually adjust the brightness, as you can see what I'm doing there, before you take your photo. So honestly, this 13 megapixel camera is good. I mean, it is very, very good. The front-facing 5 megapixel camera is good as well. I'm not really big on selfies, so I'm not going to focus too much on that, but it is a very nice 5 megapixel front-facing camera. So I've used a lot of 13 megapixel cameras in the past on different devices, but I gotta say, this is right up there with, you know, my top 3 favorite 13 megapixel cameras on a smartphone. You got some other options here in settings. I'll go ahead and show you here: panorama, all focus, HDR. So here's some sample photos that I did take with this camera. Alright, so this device is also rocking the Qualcomm Snapdragon 615, as well as a 1.5 gigahertz and a 1.2 gigahertz octa-core processor as well. So I went ahead and I did run the Geekbench 4 test, so let me go ahead and show you really quick here. But as you can see, the display is 1080 by 1920, 403 pixels per inch. So the Geekbench score results are 619 single core score and 1927 multi-core score as well. So let's move on to gameplay, because I know a lot of us use our smartphones to play games. So how did the Huawei Sensa LTE perform on Modern Combat 5? I gotta say, I was very, very impressed with the gameplay performance from this device. It actually ran very smooth, very cool. I didn't experience any type of overheating issues while playing this game, or many other games as well. But as you can see, it's running perfectly fine. I did notice an occasional drop in frame here and there, nothing major. Also want to mention that this device does not have the gyroscope or the gyro sensor, so just keep that in mind if that is something that you really need in a smartphone. But for gameplay, and especially playing Modern Combat 5, other than the drop of frame once in a while here and there was no issues whatsoever. The main issues that I really look for is that overheating issue. But I would say, if I can compare this with the gameplay, I would compare with the LG G5 that I own. Very, very smooth gaming performance on this device right here. Alright, so let's move on to multitasking. Multitasking is pretty smooth on this device. It does have 2 gigabytes of RAM, and I had no issues, you know, jumping from one application to the other. It was pretty smooth. I mean, one thing I did notice, and this is what most smartphones, if you have a whole bunch of applications running in the background, it's going to slow it down. But honestly, 3 or 4 applications running in the background, I mean, it's still going to run smooth on this device. So moving on to outdoor visibility. How is it? It's actually very good. There was actually really no issues with me seeing outdoor in sunlight with this device. So, you know, my final conclusion with the Huawei Sensa LTE, I think it's a great device. I think it's well worth the price tag of $99 on Simple Mobile right now. I highly recommend go out, pick this device up. It has premium design, has a good 3000 milliamp battery, getting about 4.5–5 hours of battery life on this. Fingerprint scanner is on point. I mean, it's excellent. I mean, the only thing that I can see would be a negative is that there is no app drawer on this device, but you can always download a third-party launcher. And of course, there is no gyro sensor on this and no NFC. But if you can live without those two things, then this is a good, solid device for you. Well, everybody, thanks for watching the full review of the Huawei Sensa LTE. This is Paul Tech, and I will talk to you on the next one.